So, a little USB dongle that allows you to play your Switch with an Xbox One or a PS4 controller. This isn't a new concept, but this particular dongle claims to hack your games for you, and all you have to do is plug it into the side of your Switch dock and press a few buttons. A cheat device that does everything through macros. It's an interesting idea, and it promises a lot, but man, as cool as it can be sometimes, as scary as it could be sometimes, it absolutely cannot deliver on most of these promises. This video is brought to you by Satisfy, who just launched their newest Tropical Edition Zen Grip in sky blue and palm green. Obviously, it's themed after the Special Edition Animal Crossing Switch, but it's more than that. The paint job on the Animal Crossing Edition Switch is slightly thicker, so the Tropical Edition is specially made to give you more clearance. Please ignore the bite marks on my Joy-Con from my roommate's dog, who is dead now. He's dead. I killed the dog. Because of this added clearance, it will also fit nicely if you have a skin on your console, such as the D-brand Not Animal Crossing skin. And if you have a regular Switch and you just like the color, it'll work just as well too. Right now, everything on the site is 10% off, but if you use the promo code Wulff, spelled correctly, that turns into 20% off, and the Tropical Edition is 25% off. That means you save a little over $8. So check it out at the link in the description below or go to satisfy.com, but make sure you use the promo code Wulff or else you're playing yourself. Okay, so let's just get this out of the way first. Hooking up an Xbox One or a PS4 controller to this thing is super easy. You can either do it wired through the little USB port on the side, or you can do it wireless via Bluetooth, which is what I did. For Xbox, you just have to make sure that your controller is Bluetooth capable. Most of them are, but some of the earlier versions of the Xbox One controller don't have Bluetooth inside, so most of them are good. You're probably safe. Anyway, there's 0 instructions in the box, just warranty information and a warning telling you to switch your Pro Controller wired communication setting to on, so that the Nintendo Switch will recognize your device as a Pro Controller. Luckily, it's easy to sync Bluetooth controllers. Just press the left button on the copyright infringed Switch logo, and it will start searching for Bluetooth devices. Xbox has a dedicated sync button. PlayStation requires you to hold the PlayStation button and share until the light bar starts blinking. I like to make sure that my Xbox or PS4 are unplugged when I do this, otherwise you're going to wake the console and then the controller is going to connect to the console. It's going to be a whole friggin' mess. These controllers work great on the Switch. They're some of the best controllers ever built. The analog stick sensitivity is also great, as it should be. And the PS4 controller even has solid motion controls. It's not as solid as a regular Pro controller. There are some hiccups, particularly in horizontal movement, but it works well enough where most people won't really notice a difference. Obviously, button placement is different. It's not like video game prompts are gonna magically change based on what controller you have plugged in. I play all of these consoles, obviously, and I didn't realize this until just now, but my brain adjusts based on what controller I have in my hand. So I don't know what the buttons are. Damn it. Navigating menus on the Switch using an Xbox One or a PS4 controller is a huge mind. I instinctively want to use this button to accept and this button to go back, but on Switch, it's the other way around. The only real benefit to using an Xbox One or a PS4 controller on your Switch is that you might have them already. And that's it. Also, this dongle also allows you to use an Xbox 360, a PlayStation 3, or a Wii U Pro controller, but I didn't test those because those are old and I really don't care that much. It's also not the main draw to this device. It does that functionality really well, but there are other dongles that do the same thing for just a little bit cheaper, like, for example, the 8-bit Do wireless adapter or the Mayflash adapter that I've had in a video before, but I can't find for some reason. Those are both just $20, whereas this switch up is $25. So you save $5. That $5 goes towards the main draw, which is the game enhancement. Oh, yeah. On the box, the functionality includes Pokemon Sword and Shield mode, which includes automatic shiny chaining, watt generation, easy cycle, rare den farming, and more. Fortnite mode, including aim abuse. It's on the box. Rapid fire, smart fire, dual fire, and more in Battle Royale mode. Zelda Breath of the Wild mode, including Rupee arrow generation, enhanced weapon mods, horse mods, and more. Super Mario Odyssey mode, including auto boss battle, auto coin, moon generation, easy Mario combos, and more. So those are things we're going to try. But it doesn't stop with what's on the box because there's firmware updates. And if you have the latest firmware, you can also do stuff in Animal Crossing, like, for example, Easy Net, Easy Fishing, and Easy Turbo. Now, the real question is, how do you get the device to do any of this? There's no instructions inside or on the box. So I guess that's it. I guess we're done here. Good thing don't work. Have a happy and a healthy. Actually, on the little warning slip, there's a line here that says, the online manual can be found at switchup.ca. There are also a whole slew of online tutorials on their YouTube channel, which are a little bit more helpful. In order to use the game enhancement for a specific game, you have to set the switch up to that specific game. You press the right part on the infringed logo button until the LEDs are the correct colors for the game you want. For example, Pokemon Sword and Shield is yellow and teal. This was the first game that I tried, and it's also the best game to showcase the switch up's abilities. Oh! Now, I'm not really set up for shiny hunting or any of that stuff. I beat the game and its DLC, and that's about all I've done. But after a lot of tinkering, I was able to get max raid, watt generation, auto spin, and easy cycle to work just fine. It is a little disconcerting that the device can just go into your system settings and mess with your system clock, but that's what it takes to do some of these exploits. So it's doing exactly what it said it would do. Whoa! Whoa! But stuff like that requires a little bit of setup on your part, so the YouTube videos are kind of a necessity if you want to do any shiny exploiting with this thing. Actually, if you want to do any of the macros at all with this thing, you should just watch the YouTube tutorials for each macro before you actually want to do it. It has other useful features like releasing whole boxes of Pokemon, auto-confirming dialogue, surprise trading entire boxes of Pokemon, stuff that can be easily exploited through macros. But I'm not that much of a nerd. If you want a more in-depth look on how this thing works specifically for Pokemon Sword and Shield, you can check out Austin John's video on it. The firmware has been updated since then, but everything should work relatively the same. The next game on the list is Fortnite, I guess because it's a popular game. It claims to do rapid fire, smart fire, dual fire, aim assist, aim abuse, crouch aim. It's hard not to read that as crotch aim. This is what it says on their website currently. All of this stuff is stuff that can be exploited through macros, and none of it works at all. Except maybe dolphin dive, but I didn't try that because I could just press the A button when I'm swimming. There's no reason to have a macro for that. Most of these game enhancements rely on exploiting Fortnite's aim assist. In most shooters on console, when you aim down your sights relatively close to an enemy, the crosshair might magically snap to that enemy. The Switch Up attempts to exploit this with features such as rapidly aiming down the sights. It's basically just mashing ZL for you. I don't think that did what it was supposed to at all. It's actually making it worse, if I'm being honest. If I'm being completely honest. Unfortunately, as Ninja so passionately tells Nick Merckx like 11 months ago.
Yes, you're using the OG aiming settings that don't have as many options. The aim is not, it's updated, dude. You can't go back to being able to L2 spam. They removed L2 spam.
It feels the same, that's all I'm saying.
I've watched you try to—
Yeah, that's not how aim assist works anymore. And if he's right, apparently it hasn't worked like that for a long time. And I'm on the latest firmware and it's still on their website. It would be nice if on their website they explained that most of these exploits aren't going to work anymore, or at the very least, update their manual a little bit, which has you change settings that aren't even in the game anymore. The setup for Fortnite is also the most bizarre setup out of any game I've tested.
Whoa. Whoa. Oh my God, they're gonna take my credit card information and everything. Why wouldn't it just tell me this? Just say it. Just put it in the manual, dude. Press your aim down sights button. It's default. Oh, it's left trigger. Oh, okay.
Now, I'm not very far in Breath of the Wild. I only have like 25 hours in it. Only 25 hours in a video game. So I couldn't really try their rupee or arrow generation mods, but they do have some weapon mods that I tried, and none of those worked. The device wasn't entering the menu mode correctly. See, to select a mod while playing a game, you have to hold down the minus button, which on the PlayStation controller is the share button. On the Xbox One controller, it's the left button. You hold this down and then you'll feel a short vibration, and then you'll see on the device itself, the right LED will turn white. This wasn't happening. It also barely happened with Fortnite. It was hard to get to work.
This is not what it's supposed to be doing. This is wrong.
But it worked just fine in Pokemon every time I wanted to do it. Now imagine you're playing Fortnite and you want to try to get into the menu mode in the middle of a Battle Royale game. That's not going to work. Unfortunately, I also couldn't get the menu mode to work in Mario Odyssey. I was very, very interested to see how auto boss battle mode worked. Looking at their YouTube channel, there are tons of different macros for all of the boss battles, but I couldn't get a single macro to work, so that was a wash. Animal Crossing is a new functionality that you get via the firmware, and I was able to get into the menu mode of that, no problem. It can make it so that accessing your net is as easy as pressing the left stick in. It also has a turbo mode, which I've mentioned before is very useful for Animal Crossing, but could also be useful for other games. So I guess if all you want is an easy turbo, you could just set this thing to Animal Crossing mode regardless of what game you're in and do the turbo functionality. The coolest feature it has is easy fishing.
I'm not touching anything.
It will detect when the controller does a hard rumble and automatically press A at the right moment to catch the fish.
Oh, that's cool. All right, that's pretty cool. That's pretty cool.
That's pretty cool, and not something other macro devices can do that easily. It's a very, very interesting device. If you're really into shiny hunting in Pokemon, then I could see this being a helpful tool. If you're really, really bad at catching fish in Animal Crossing for whatever reason, then this might also help you out there. But for any other game or scenario that requires a repetitive action, the Gully Kick controller that I've mentioned a few times in the past might be a more solid option. If you're interested in that, I highly recommend you watch the video on the Gully Kick controller and also the video I have on macros for Animal Crossing. It made a lot of stuff in Animal Crossing way easier. It also allows you to enable and disable turbo on individual buttons on the fly, which is useful for a lot of games. It's unfortunate that the controller kind of sucks as a controller, but if you're looking for a macro device, maybe look into this controller before looking into the Switch Up. It can do basically all of the same stuff. You would just have to record all of the inputs manually yourself first. But most of these macros are very simple. If you're an even bigger nerd and you prefer to write out the macros yourself, 8BitDo just updated their ultimate software for their SN30 Pro Plus, and now it allows for different timings between button presses. It's much more complicated than just using the controller to record the macro, but if you got some time to figure it out, it has potential to allow for more accurate macros. The SN30 Pro Plus doesn't allow you to record macros on the fly, but it does allow you to set turbo for individual buttons on the fly. So all that being said, I kind of hate this thing. Unless you're doing a bunch of different tedious tasks in Pokemon, then maybe this might be useful. It'll be easier to switch between all those different macros. But for all of these other games that it claims to enhance, you might be better off with a different product, or maybe, I don't know, get good. So what do you guys think about the Switch Up game enhancer, or just macro devices in general? Do you have any ideas where this might be useful? Regardless of our opinions on this thing, I think we can all agree that it's definitely a uniquely strange device. Anyway, leave it in the comments below, at me on Twitter, any and all of this other social media garbage. We got new videos here all the time. Our schedule's in a pinned tweet over on our Twitter. And we got Wulff Den live every single Wednesday at 8 p.m. Eastern time. That's our live podcast where we can hang out and talk to each other. And we got streams over on twitch.tv/WulffDen. A lot of these clips here are clips from a stream that I did. I've never done a stream like that before where I do a little behind the scenes of me making a video. But I feel like I might be doing that more in the future. That was a pretty good time. And it saved me time because I got to get work done while getting work done. And don't forget about the sale over on Satisfy.com and use the promo code Wulff to get yourself a Switch grip for significantly cheaper. But of course, the most important thing and the easiest thing that you can do is just subscribe to the channel. Make sure you're subscribed because you might think you are and you're not. And share this video with a friend who maybe plays a whole buttload of Pokemon and might benefit from a device like this. Or maybe a nerd who doesn't have use for it, but might find it interesting. Thank you guys very much. You have yourself a very good week.